Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and thanks for tuning in to one of my community Discord meetings. This is actually the second meeting. It's February of 2019's meeting, but we did have one for January at the end of December, but I hadn't decided to record it at that point, and in that meeting, we decided to maybe record subsequent meetings. So for those of the people that missed the meeting in the Discord but would still like to know what was talked about, that they would be able to look it up on YouTube. So this really isn't for views or anything like that, but if you would like to know what's going on within my Discord, we will have a meeting on the last Sunday of every month, and the time will be announced usually a week or two in advance, so everybody has enough time to make it if they can. And I will be putting my Discord link in the comments down below, so if you guys would like to join and have some say in the community as well. The Discord is a really good community. There's a lot of fun that we have, and it's where I host most of my battles now. So for those of you guys that are asking to play with me, I mostly am active on my Discord nowadays, not so much on Steam, so you will find me there. And we are going to get into the actual meeting. There wasn't really much that we talked about on the YouTube side of things. Usually there's a YouTube section and a Discord section, and this meeting is mostly about some new kind of immersive gameplay that I'm adding within the Discord, a little bit of roleplay. So that's what most of the time is spent is talking about this little roleplay, which you will see in the coming minutes. But I just want to let you guys in on a few announcements real first. I am moving very, very shortly. I'm moving as of Thursday, and I probably won't be back to uploading on YouTube until next Wednesday, because it will take me a bit of time to get settled. So I won't have internet or access to my PC for about a week's time, so be prepared for that. And then as far as the YouTube announcements, the schedule posting each week I think is going well. A lot of you guys are responding to that, but you can leave in the comment section down below. I am still thinking about adding new games to my channel. Some big hits that I'm kind of considering are Medieval Kingdom Wars, Tiger Knight, some Oriental Empires, and of course when Three Kingdoms comes out I'll be covering that as well. But I've also got some Company of Heroes 2 gameplay that is being filtered in from time to time. And I am also going to let you guys know that I do plan to once a month have like a big calendar event, and that will as well be hosted on the Discord. So for those of you guys that are interested, it'll be announced probably 2 weeks in advance, and it will be a day where we just get a bunch of people together and play a game like Crusader Kings 2 or Hearts of Iron 4, maybe an Age of Empires 2 match or two. Something like that just kind of builds the community even further. But I think that's all I have to say for today, so without further ado, let's get into the meeting.
No, please no. The only one who's actually...
All the people in Albion anyways don't even have a mic anyways.
All the people in Albion, mothers won't let them talk to strangers anyway.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, everybody in Albion's trying to get me to sub to PewDiePie right now, so...
Honestly, me and Johnny were playing with Lance yesterday, and he mic'd up. He's not as young as I thought he would be.
What's that about kids there?
I said, what a bunch of kids.
I know.
Oh, hey, Ezrin's here.
Ezrin's here. So one person from every clan. That works out.
Yeah. Support dog.
Yeah, but no one cares about that.
Oh yeah, but they're the underdogs.
I
so
that wheat dude, that wheat god dude who likes to talk about wheat. I shoved him into War Dogs.
Oh, is that Yeza Tourist or whatever?
So,
yeah.
That was the guy that everyone was complaining about. Then
I had no problem with him doing it.
I don't get it.
It was funny, to be honest. It was weirdly funny. I ignored it. I don't. He didn't need to be muted though. I think that was a bit over the top for. I mean, War Dogs is like punishment enough.
Wow. This is being recorded, do you know?
Oh, yeah, that's the point, isn't it?
Hamdog will hear of this eventually.
Oh well, he already knows that. Basically,
did you hear? He started streaming as well.
I have seen that. I haven't actually been able to get into any of his streams though, because he always does his like late at night for him, but it's middle of the day for me, and I just don't have time in the middle of the day. But
I have the time, but I don't want to waste my time.
Wow. Okay. On that note,
we don't.
Let's actually start the business at hand, because I don't have absolutely too long.
Yeah.
So going back to Anku, actually, in Discord, you're the only ones that haven't put forth someone for the clan elder status, because everybody else has somewhat an option. So, did you have someone you were thinking of for this?
Well, when they stole my only option and made him an admin, I was kind of annoyed.
Yeah.
But
can I be both? I'll be
No.
both.
No, you can't.
At the moment, I don't really have a secondary option, mostly because most of the other members still aren't that active.
Yeah. Like, I know Lord Levin is in your clan, and
yeah, but he's active occasionally, but he's
Yeah.
not like
He don't
active
talk.
enough.
and Akiber as well, because he's in our hot seat. But I guess that's kind of all that
he plays but doesn't talk. Same as General Spiffington. I know he plays.
Like
Yeah.
I've got people who are around, but they're not like active enough for me to consider to be elder, like
status.
level.
Okay, well,
Yeah, basically.
we can
And
put
so
that on the back burner for now. Then I was just curious if you
Yeah.
had anybody.
Yeah, I'll, like as soon as I have someone, I'll give you a name.
Everyone wants me, you know. It's...
I was literally I was gonna type his name in like when he joined and he was super active, and then it was like, oh yeah, we just made him admin.
And
I was
all
like,
of a sudden, boom! I know. I was on Discord.
Well,
when
I mean,
that
we can
happened. I was
demote
like,
you
one
if
minute
you
I
want to
was-
just be an elder. That's totally fine.
just demote him.
No, right now.
because we need
I'm
an
something
one.
right now.
Well, I have no other options for admin either, so
That's
I
true.
lose either way. So we'll just
You'd
keep
rather
it
have
where it
me
is.
being able to ban
So at least
everyone
kinda work.
that you dislike. You
You
know?
just need to make a Smurf account so that you can have one
Yeah,
be
just
an
say-
elder and then one be a.
No, but then when I ask for him to be on voice chat, it's gonna be awkward.
Well, he could like
Oh,
just change
I
his accent.
Get it.
I
Get a
have,
voice changer.
All I do, I have two mics, I have two headsets, and I have my phone. So all I have to do is
Oh
one
my
on my phone and one on my PC, and then I'll be like, and then I can just
Just mute yourself on one of them,
go back
talk
and
to
forth,
the other, and
just
then
go back and
forth.
forth. You know, we're gonna have
Nice.
our own
Good
little group chat.
Okay.
You know,
What you haven't realized is that all of the members of my clan are just bots of me. That's
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Yeah,
I was
pretty
wondering
much.
why only one of you joined at a time. Okay.
yeah, he's trying to spread it across.
that's why none of the rest of them are talking.
All right. Well, that's fine. So I have options for other clan, like every other clan. So I guess we could work on actually creating the role and then just apply
Yeah.
them to the other clans. And then once you have an option, then
Yeah,
we can
yeah,
build
go
that
ahead.
in.
It's fine.
Right now, it's not gonna happen.
There's no point in me promoting someone at
Unless
the
I start
moment because
forcing
they won't
that
fulfill any
on.
of the roles, like any of the parts of the role that are really we've talked about. So
All right. Well, the main thing I wanted to talk about was the map. So I'm sure all of you guys have seen this. I want to try and get it going for
Okay, let me click on the
February.
map.
So I put all 4 clans in a starting position in Ireland.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought Lance was supposed to get somebody to make commands for me, but I don't know if that's finished yet. But I was wondering, I was trying to pick your guys' brain on how often you think that we should be able to use the commands to expand territory. Like I was thinking maybe once a week. Because if we do it like every day or like what some people do like every couple hours, then the map will be full in like a day.
How exactly do you take?
We literally could have like Lance in there just spamming the
Well,
messages.
that's what I want to avoid, right? Like I don't want people to be able to spam. So that's where going back to the clan elder status. That's what I thought we could use them for. Was that the clan elder would be responsible for, at the set time using the command to expand the territory ranking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that you guys wouldn't have an elder, so I guess it could just fall
I can
to
fulfill
one
the,
of you
I can
two.
fulfill the role or something. Yeah.
So like obviously the commands would be like add territory, and then it would be like a set amount from like 1 to 3 counties that would just fall under your control. And then once Ireland is completely full and you guys actually border one another, then that's where I thought that the clan wars could come into play, because it would actually reflect on the map of like losses and winning territory.
And so like if I had a battle against Celt and then Celt won, he
Then-
would take some of that territory, and so
Correct.
it would work.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, the one thing I was also going to broach to you guys is should there be a possibility for a clan to be completely wiped out, or should these starting positions be locked in, like they can never be taken?
How about, because this also occurred to me, because if a clan gets wiped out, that basically you're just getting rid of a quarter of the people in the Discord that can't play anymore, effectively.
Right.
So what
Yes,
I
that
was
sounds good.
thinking is that if they get down to a set amount of territories, like a really low number, then they become it's not satrapy, but like that sort of thing, like below the clan that's been destroying them the most, who has occupied the most of their territory.
Right.
And then they basically have to support their allied clan in the wars no matter what. And then they can have wars of independence, but they have to get like supported by one of the outside clans.
Right. Because the other thing I don't want to happen is for one clan to just become a steamroller. Like.
Yeah. Which is why, like, okay, so
what?
You're all just scared of Albion steamrolling.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're going to be headed right for Yorkshire, but that's something else I need to say.
He's just going to completely abandon his own territory.
No, you have to. Ireland needs to be completely full first, and then there's going to be a command that's what is it? I think it's like colony or something, like a colony command, and then it'll start to add territory into England and Scotland, so you guys can choose there, like where it ends up. But I was also wondering too what you guys thought of concerning rebellions, because there was a couple of people that have been interested in forming their own clan, but I wasn't sure like how we would go about that. Like maybe whichever clan they're rebelling out of. So let's say that because it'll probably happen, Nath will rebel out of Anku. And start his own little Star Wars clan.
No, start some stuff now. Never.
He's completely loyal to the New Zealand
but
laws. And
let's say he does. So
example.
Let's say he does, and it would just take one of the territories from Anku and put it over to him. You know what I mean?
But then I would say he, like, here's the thing. So like, let's say he decided to rebel, yeah?
Yeah.
But let's say he managed to grab 2 or 3 other members. And so then they should be able to receive a couple of extra territories based on how many members decide to side with the new clan.
Right.
And also, it doesn't necessarily only have to be members from my clan. So if, say, some members of Albion also were like, oh, well, this rebellion sounds cool, let's join in, some of their territory goes to the new clan, and so that way the new clan can form a reasonable power block.
Right, but that's what I was wondering too. Like, obviously, I'll have to put in set rules because I'm not dealing with 7 rebellions a day. That's just going to be too much. But if they swapped and took one territory away from Anku, let's say, then they should have to battle Anku for legitimacy. And if Anku wins, then the rebellion is squashed and it just gets put back into Anku's territory. But if they win, then they solidify themselves in their territory, and then that becomes their starting territory that can never be taken. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, pretty much. And then also, like, if they did lose, and let's say I retook the territory or whatever, there should be like a set timer on how long it can be until they can rebel again if they so choose.
Yeah, because I don't want to have the problem we had when we disbanded all the clans, where we've got like 4 clans and there's like 1 person in each clan that's active. Like, so maybe it could be like growth based. So like as soon as there's a certain amount of clan members in each clan and it's sufficient enough that we could have a rebellion, then I can allow one at that point.
You can submit submit a written submission for why they should be allowed to rebel
like
from the clan.
It's all role play, right? So that's but there's gonna have to be rules, because otherwise it's just gonna be a total mess. So that's why I was just picking your guys' brains before I actually open this up, because I know Lance is like, when is this happening? When is this happening? But I don't want people to just be spamming add power, add territory, and then other people that have jobs, you know, that are come home and they're like, why does Albion have like 9 territories and we haven't even started? Well, we need to eat, some of us, you know, like my mom doesn't make me dinner anymore, so
yeah.
Oh, there's your mistake.
I have to adult.
Yeah, I know, right? How dare you grow up?
So can you guys think of any rules that I can add to this thing here?
You could do some sort of power gain per. Oh gosh. Okay, so if you ever played Civ, you know when you want to expand to each different tile, you have to use coins or gold to buy it.
Right.
And as you expand more, then it costs more and more to expand more because you've already gained X amount of power, and so it's like
thinking
economy
as
is
you
increased, and so you should be able to pay more.
as you expand, you'll be buying the tiles with power. So like if you're starting, let's see, where's the map?
Yeah, I'm just writing
So
all
if you're
this down here
starting-
as you're talking.
If your starting region made like 5 power, and like for Gorlami, since we have like 4, if each one of them costs like maybe like 2 or 3 points of power to expand it to them, it might also kind of
Limit the spam
yeah,
type thing.
it might also limit the spam because you're basing it off of a currency system.
Okay,
And
but
so-
so how long would we do the power gain though? Like,
So you would, for each territory you expand into, I guess you could do it to where it would start maybe like the next week. It could start gaining power on its own. So if you expand into like 2 territories with your 5 power, maybe they start gaining power. So like maybe 1 each. But I
okay,
don't know,
so
because
are
you
you
would have
saying
to,
starting territory would be like 5 power, what, per day type thing? Do you think?
like per week. So you get like
Week,
5.
Okay.
Okay, let me see.
Because if it was per day, then it's like, okay, so I can probably
Yo.
take 2, like
Yeah,
a couple of
bit
territories
high.
straight away, and then those
Right,
are giving me
right.
power reasonably soon, and so therefore, like, you'll be able to like expand really quickly. If you set it to weeks,
Let's see.
you might get a couple of territories early on, and then like every week you might get 1 or 2 more territories if you're smart about it. But you don't want to give them the opportunity to just go, oh yeah, in this week I've taken about 50% of the territory available.
Right, so this wouldn't be a command that anyone would have to be worried about. I would just keep track week by week of how much power
Yeah.
each clan would have type thing in the bank.
Yeah,
Either
and-
them or
and then
the
you-
clan leaders or the
Okay.
And then it'll
admins.
be, okay, we have X amount, and so we can afford to buy this many territories or invest in gaining this many territories, and so this is what we're going to do. Or you can save like power in order to invest in multiple territories the next week or whatever.
Okay, so how much
'Cause-
would like consequent territories be? Like, should there be like a sliding curve where the more you have, the more expensive they become? Or
Oh yeah,
okay,
yeah, that's how it would have to be.
okay,
It would have to be because if you had, or, like, this is just an example. If you had every single territory be like 2, right?
Like,
Then and each territory generates 1 once you control it.
yeah, no, the next week it would have to start because you don't
have
want
to
it to start
increase, otherwise
immediately.
You'll just be like, okay, I'm taking over more. I'm taking over some, and every time I take a territory, I'm making more, and so therefore I can take even more each time. And
Okay,
So you need to have the cost increase in order to counter the fact you're expanding.
So what kind of cost would the territories be? Like, would it start at 10 and then go to 15, then
No.
20?
No, it'd probably be like for like your starting ones, you probably start like making 5, and then you could expand with like maybe a cost of maybe 3. Because if you do 2, that means you can buy 2 and then save a
1.
thing of power for next week. Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so should it go up in multiples like that though? Like 3, 6, 9?
It shouldn't. No, but maybe because if we start with the 5, which I think is a good idea because that gives you like a decent amount to start with, but not so much that you're going to just expand super quickly. If you have them start at the cost of 3, so we can buy 1 the first time, but then if we get 5 the next time, we'll be able to buy 2 if they stay at the same cost. But if we increase the cost by, say, 1 or 2 each time, something like that, I don't know. It's
But that'd be hard though because you have to apply it to all factions. Because if one faction decides to not buy anything, and they just save their money, that means they're like first or second. No, their first or second would have to be more. I guess.
No, but I mean, if they choose to save instead of spend, like, then if they want to buy 2 the next week, that's fine. They'll still be even with the other clans that bought 1 week and 1 the next, wouldn't they?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so that's an interesting. Instead of using the add territory, then we could just do it by a currency system. I didn't.
Well,
think of
you'd
that.
still do add territory, but you would have to do it on sort of like a trust system where the currency would probably not be something you can implement into the thing. You'd have to watch it.
Have a track
Yeah.
of it
Yeah.
somehow.
Which I mean wouldn't be
otherwise-
hard if it's by week, because every Sunday I can
Yeah.
just keep a
And
little
only
log.
the clan elders and the clan leaders could do that, so you're not spamming it.
Yeah,
They're
all the
generally
time.
people that you trust more than your average clan members, so they'll probably be more responsible about not cheating the system or something.
That's why Lance needs to be one, you know.
But if we use the currency system with the power gain, then what is the point of having the add territory?
Oh, because the add territory.
Because the add territory is the system that's actually going to let you expand.
Yeah, that's literally recording. Oh yes, we've added territory. It's just you can only input that command once you have enough money to do so.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'll just basically have to babysit that. But since it's once a week, that's not really too hard to do. So that's actually a good idea.
And you just maybe in the channel just go, okay, this clan has this amount of money left. This clan has this amount of money left. This clan has this amount of money left. And then have like this is how much they're going to make the next week.
Oh, so each one you're thinking is the same price, Azrian?
Well, just around the territory is the same price.
Then let's say once that they buy one, all the other ones increase.
Around them, I see. So they would go up to whatever 4.
Yeah, whatever we decide on the multiple. Yeah.
Okay. And then for
Something
maybe
like
since we're doing the add colony system, like what if that's like not an exorbitant amount, but let's say it'd be extremely expensive to start a colony, and then once they have the core colony territory set, then it would follow the same currency system of expanding there.
Yeah.
But like,
there would be.
We could say it'd be like because they'll probably be making a decent amount from their territory, so we could say like 100 power to start a colony or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be pretty good because
that way it's an actual investment. You might not even be able to do it straight away.
Right. Yeah. So. Okay.
Some people might have even avoided buying some territory and tried to save up in preparation for doing it.
Yeah, like they could. It would be a gamble, right? Because of the other clans starting to border you, and then you'd have less territory to defend yourself with. And also,
there's also the fact that once you get more territory, you're making more money, and so if they're willing to give that up, then...
Yeah, so you see it's like the next week they start gaining power in that territory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
So that way, your economy can get going as you gain more territory, but the cost of expanding also increases.
Okay, so then as far as the wars go as well, like how would we just implement it as one person, like a 1v1, or is there a possibility that the more powerful the clan, the more powerful that, like the more players they could bring in
so you get like a 4v1. Yes.
Yeah, but that's kind of the thought, but at the same time, I guess that would kind of be mean to clans that just didn't have as good of a lucky start.
Yeah, you could kind of balance it a little bit.
Yeah, because I was thinking too for their they could choose maybe to build fortifications on certain territories as well. So which is awesome with this power gain system because let's say that they have a key territory next to, like Gorlami has a key territory next to the War Dogs that they want to hold on to. They could spend like 30 power, and then if they tried to take that territory, it'd be a siege battle where they would get to defend. So they would be able to build a settlement on it.
That's interesting.
You invest a bunch of points in building a fort in a
right.
particular territory.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that means if you get attacked there, it has to be a siege that you're defending.
Yeah,
and you have the advantage in that situation.
So I could come up with like certain things that would cost more. So maybe like reinforcements equals 10 power, and then maybe they could have a second 10 stack that would come in or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so
it'd probably be a little bit more than that, probably be 20.
Yeah, just for example.
You have to actually spend points in order to bring multiple players into a battle.
Right.
Like you automatically get one player per side, but then it's like, okay, I want to bring in another couple of players, I'm going to invest X amount of points from my bank into this.
Right.
And so you might win, but then your bank's been heavily impacted, and so if you lose the next couple of battles, you've risked a lot of your actual like ability to expand in exchange for usually not much gain.
Right. Which is a good point. So if a clan actually gets kind of hammered down, how many territories should they hold at minimum? Like, should it just go down to the 1, or should they be able to hold on to 3? Or
I think it should be minimum of 1, but the clan can can surrender at any point, and if they surrender, then they have to give a percentage of their, like, you know how tributaries work in lots of the Total War games. Where
so they could make power from other clans. Oh man, this is
and so like if I defeated Albion in a war and they still had a couple of territories.
Yeah, I knew Red
so
Keller has something to say.
I know. but
you.
they
Sorry, I
were
just
like,
didn't
okay,
listen,
here,
yeah.
Someone was going to say something.
give
anyway.
us like I leave them with like 4 territories, right? That as an example, I take a percentage of that power that they're generating for myself,
Okay.
and then they support me in wars if I need it. Like, and
Yeah.
so I and
Well,
so they.
I mean, yes to the they would give you the extra power, but I feel like you would have to pay them to
Well,
support you in
they're,
wars.
they're,
Or-
it's
Yeah.
like
Because that's going to be too OP if you get 2 tributaries like on top of your own army, and then it's just like one other clan. You know what I mean?
well,
Like
I'm not saying
You would
saying
only
like
just.
it'd
I'm
be the
not saying that
potential
they would
to
be sending
steamroll.
armies to. I'm not saying that armies would send support to us. I'm just saying that they would be able to expand into other elements of the other person's territory from different
Oh
areas that
yeah,
we can't
yeah,
access and
yeah.
that sort of
That's legit. Okay.
and So it's not like, oh yes, I'm going to get a free army because I have a tributary.
Right,
It's
yeah.
No.
That's not
You
what
don't. You should probably only get about 10% or 20% of their power.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
personally.
yeah. It shouldn't be very much. Yeah.
So you can like truce with them. You're gonna get their power, but they can still independently act. Like they can still expand into territories and stuff.
Cal's gone.
Yeah, that's okay. He said he wasn't going to be able to stay for the whole thing.
Oh.
Okay, so that's a really solid shout then. And then, so as far as colonies go, can they be completely wiped out? Do you think? Like once they spend that 100 power, should that be like a core colony that can't be removed, or should they have the potential to lose all of it?
Well, see, my thing would be, okay, so let's say my clan spent 100 power, and we started a colony somewhere. Someone else spends 100 power and starts a colony right next to us and then attacks us.
That won't be allowed because I'll be putting the colonies like a certain distance apart from each other.
Okay. I was just making sure.
And then you can only obviously attack on borders, right? So if there's a white space between, you can't obviously attack them. And there, I think Lance was asking about like if there would be battles against rebels. I think that would be too congested. We'll just take them over without the need for battles. Like we'll just use this power system to buy it, basically. So that's a pretty solid idea then. Okay.
And then when you're warring too, if you're gaining territory, I was wondering, should we reset the power? Because because like if like on the Gorlami example I posted in discussion, if they have that territory for a couple turns and they start gaining power from that, so if they get like 3 power a turn and then someone else comes in and takes it, do you think they should go down back to 1? So a person can't just take it and then immediately start getting all the power that
I feel like if you take territory in a war, you shouldn't receive any rewards from that territory until
the next
either
week.
Peace is agreed, or well, the next week, yes, because that's part of it. But also, I feel like, you know how.
So kind of like in Crusader Kings 2, when you move in and you take a territory, but it's not fully yours until
it doesn't
peace.
become yours until you peace.
It's
like similar with Stellaris and stuff.
That could be an idea. And then I guess once peace negotiations are completed and territory is swapped back and forth regarding how that peace went, then the following week after that peace, they would all start making power per turn. I guess. That's a good idea. Good. Yeah. Okay. So
because if we had it that the like if I could attack someone and take some of their territory and instantly start making power off of it,
that would
it's
be
basically like,
overpowered.
I'm going to declare war on this person and grab like this bit of territory just so I can make that extra bit of power so I can expand as much as I want over here. Like,
but obviously when they peace, they're gonna start at 1 and then they have to rebuild it. I guess if the person if they get back their original territory, they can continue to use the same power.
Yeah. I feel like whoever wins the war... see, because this is another thing. Do we fight a war until we've completely destroyed a clan, or do we fight a war until a peace is agreed?
No, I would say until peace. Like, if you wanted 2 or 3 territories and then they asked for peace and you get... proper negotiations to find such peace, then that'd be fine. Like, I don't think it should be for total conquest. It would be the only thing.
Yeah, right? and then the peace should have like a period of a couple of weeks or a period of time where that clan, those 2 clans can't attack each other.
And the other interesting thing would be is that, so let's say Gorlami builds that city, they spend 50 power, they build a fort or whatever on that city, and the War Dogs only want that settlement, and they take it, and then after the peace talks, there's peace. They would reap the benefits of that fort after the peace. Would that be legit? Or maybe they could spend a certain number of power to repair it. So
I'd probably do the repair thing.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. If they attacked and it was, because they'll have damaged towers and stuff in a siege or whatever. You'd have to spend some, maybe not as much as it would cost to build a new fort, but maybe like half the cost to repair.
Because then there could be very small wars for certain territories. You know what I mean?
Border skirmishes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that could be an objective, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can either do half the price of it to repair, or you do the quarter of the price, but then takes 2 weeks for it to be repaired.
Oh yeah, good point. If they don't have enough power, okay.
If they don't have enough power there, or if they're trying to spend it on other things at the same time.
And I guess if it's not in a repairable phase when you re-attack it, so let's say they want it to be fixed in 2 weeks and you attack it, should it just be a land battle then maybe, or should it be like a siege with escalation too?
I think it would be a siege with escalation.
Okay. By the way, should this be run across just 12-12, do you think, or should we just open it to
Not just
Total
12
Wars?
That's
what I was
doing.
more.
Yeah, and don't have a tiller.
I feel like basically when it comes to a battle, it should be decided between the two so let's say I was at war with, Golami or someone. Then if me and Azrian were going to be the ones fighting the battle, yeah, we would decide between us. Okay, which games do we have between us?
Right.
Which game do we want to do that we think would best represent the situation if we have more than one game that we can use? And then just do it like that. I don't think it really matters which game is used as long as the...
Yeah, because on Medieval 2 you can
it.
kind of do the same thing. Like, there won't be siege escalation, but I guess maybe the attackers should just get a certain number of artillery or something. Yeah,
that sort of thing. And then that way we can do things with thrones as well if we want.
Right.
Or Rome even if we want to. It doesn't really...
I'll have to see, too, if there's the ability to use power to build navies, too, for naval battles, because I know the Red Celt would love that. So, a certain number of power, 50 power, and it would give you a fleet of 20 ships or something.
Yeah.
Build port.
And then you could,
yeah.
And then it's possible that you could use those to intercept colony ships, maybe. I'm just...
Right. And
be like a Civ 5.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I unfortunately have to wrap this up really soon, but one other point I was thinking to make, should we be able to spend power to increase the power making of a tile?
Yes, that was thinking that as well. It's you invest X amount to increase
let's
it by
say
1 or something.
In the discussion where he has that highlighted and it says 1, let's say he spends 3 power and builds farms or something, so then it would be 2 power or 3 power that it would output per turn. But then there should probably be a cap, I would assume, on how much you could increase the infrastructure.
Yeah, you can only upgrade it X
I would only do it once.
Once?
Yeah,
okay.
Probably.
Yeah, probably
so
once.
Tiles can increase power once.
And so that way, even if you're completely surrounded with nowhere to expand into, you still have stuff you can invest in.
Right. Oh, this is going to be really cool. This is an awesome idea, Azrian. I didn't even think of that. Okay.
Yeah, nice work.
Yeah. So if you do I don't know, what would it be, 10 power? No, it probably had to be 15 because then you're gonna get it back at least. I guess you could do 10.
For which?
Oh, if you expand or if you expanded a territory's power,
right,
maybe by 2 or 3 points.
You
maybe
have
put
to
in
have it
10.
cost a decent amount more, but enough that you would be able to recoup the costs reasonably soon, and
probably
then start actually
10.
making a profit. Yeah, 10 or
probably
something
10.
like that. We'd have to see how
10 power invested and then 2 to 3 power back per week is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking we're probably going to need to do a test run of this and see how it works, a rapid fire test run. So not wait 10 weeks and see how it goes, but have okay, we're just going to go. Okay, this is the first week and do it all in, and then see how everything works, and then do a couple of weeks worth of play within a day, and just get it
and
see how it works.
Yeah,
and find any
that's
bugs
a good
that we
idea.
might find.
Okay.
And if this becomes like too complex to do it once per week, we can always put it down to 2, or put it up to 2 per week. So maybe on Wednesday and Sunday.
Something like that.
To increase the movement if it moves too
Yeah,
slow,
because
basically.
before it would have been like we just come on and we just like type in a command. Oh, you got a new territory. Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
And now with all this power and all this stuff, new stuff, we can do like maybe 2 times a week. We could have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll have to see. Like for the clan elders, like I thought that maybe they would be the ones responsible, but this is quite a bit of responsibility. So I think for the I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, I guess clan elders could manage this, but clan leaders oversee it very carefully, and I guess myself, I would as well, to prevent like cheating and stuff. So, because I could definitely see that happening. This is like a hot
definitely
seat.
not going to try and like occupy random territory.
Be like, no, I had 100 power. I swear. I'm like, it just started last week. How do you have 100 power?
See,
we're just really smart with their investments, and
Oh. Yeah.
We asked Swedish bankers to bankroll us.
Fair enough. Okay, well, I think that's all I needed to talk about today. Did you guys have anything you wanted to talk about real quick? Because we won't meet for another month, so.
I'm just here to spitball, so.
Fair enough. Well, I'll figure this all out tonight. Now, I might add to the map. I might add like the numbers to them for how much power they get.
Actually, there was something that I hadn't thought of. What would happen? So I was thinking, if we gave you some territory somewhere.
Oh no, because you guys would just gang up on me just to kick me out of my own thing.
You would be like invulnerable to us attacking you or something. But you'd be like the Pope and as the clan chieftain, you give us like roles like, okay, you need to occupy this territory,
you can excommunicate
this territory and stuff. And then have like a scoring rating based on how often we complete the roles you've set us. Solid thing.
Maybe.
Or you give missions for power.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a good. Oh, yeah. Okay.
This, I'll give you X amount of power or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Missions from the capital. I like it.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
So what? I would just put like a little territory in the center and make it my own. Is that what?
Yeah, pretty much something like that.
And then you can either like say your missions on the general, or you could, if you wanted to, just DM people. Say, hey, I want you to take the border territory of War Dogs over there. I'll give you some power for it.
So, like, each week you give every clan gets one like quest that they have to complete that week.
Yeah.
And then if they complete it, they get a reward for it. And so, like generally, it's like if you go, oh, I want you to like occupy this territory. If you do, you get. There should
be like a timer for it though, like maybe.
Yeah, it's like it's a 1 week or 2 week thing that they have to do.
Yeah, very short.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Also, like the time to do it in type thing, basically.
Yeah.
Like within a week's time.
Like a week. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's a really good idea. So I can get all of that started then when I come home tonight, and then. Hopefully, we can maybe start the test run on February 1st, but I'm also moving on February 1st, so we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
It might be a few days afterwards, and then we can test it and then maybe launch it mid-month if we don't find anything that is an issue. I'm also just going to upload all this to YouTube for people who care about it, and then if they have any suggestions, they can leave it in the comments, and then I can ask you guys about it later.
Oh, yeah. Sounds good.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll see how this goes.
Yeah.